Hello there! This video I'm going to be talking about the Magic Kingdom and just doing a very high level overview. If this is your first trip and you've never been to Walt Disney before, you can kind of know what to expect and know the differences between the four theme parks.
I'm Christina. I'm a traveler, a planner, and most importantly, a mom. I'm sharing my best tips to make traveling as a family a little less stressful. So put down your phone, pack your bags, and let's showcase the world.
So the Magic Kingdom is the castle park. So that's what you think of when you think of Disney. A lot of people will say to me, I'd like to go to Disney and Epcot. Disney is what they usually say when they mean Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom is the castle park. You're going to find Cinderella's castle. You're going to find all of the hub and spoke. It's very similar to Disneyland, the original park in California, in terms of what is available. There is a lot of differences though. So just because you've been to the one in Disneyland doesn't mean that you can skip Magic Kingdom, because there's a lot of things that are different. There's a whole new land there's land that's different, and then additional attractions that do not exist in Disneyland, because obviously the marketers at Disney want you to go to both places. So the Magic Kingdom, again, is the park that's most associated with Disney World. It's fairly similar to Disneyland in California, to Disneyland Paris, and to the Asian parks as well. You enter under the train station. And this is really important because it kind of sets the stage, and it serves as the credits as you enter the movie, as you become into this theme park, into this world. Before Disneyland, there wasn't the concept of a theme park. There were amusement parks with rides and carnivals with rides, but there wasn't a theme park where you were immersed into a different world and you were able to enjoy the day as a family. So this was inspired by Walt Disney, who went to a carousel with his children, and he sat on a park bench, and he was just like, it'd be really cool if there was a place where we could go do things together that was safe. Amusement parks weren't really necessarily safe. There was a lot of drinking. There was a lot of unsavory things that you wouldn't necessarily want your kids involved in. So that's how Disneyland was created, and then they made a bigger version in Walt Disney World in Florida, and that was the Magic Kingdom. It is celebrating its 50th anniversary this October 2021. So 50 years Walt Disney World has been there. When Walt Disney World opened, it was just the Magic Kingdom. And when you enter the Magic Kingdom, the plaque that's there says, "Here you leave today and enter the world of yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy." And that's exactly what you're going to do. There are different themed lands that fit into those three categories. Yesterday you have Adventureland and Frontierland and Liberty Square. Tomorrow you have Tomorrowland, and fantasy you have Fantasyland, plus a little bit of the other stuff as well, because it is very idealized and very fantastical. You enter the turn of century Main Street, and once you get through Main Street, through the shops, which is Main Street is one of my favorite places. You walk through Main Street and you get to a hub, and the hub and spoke was designed by Disney, and it basically always brings you back to the castle, and then you spoke off into the different lands. Adventureland is the first one you're going to see on the left, and it basically will bring you to the jungles of the world, the Spanish Caribbean, the desert oasis of Agrabah. So there you have the Jungle Cruise, you have the Tiki Room, you have Pirates of the Caribbean, and you have the famous Dole Whip, which is my favorite snack at Walt Disney World. It's a pineapple soft serve, and definitely worth a try. Frontierland brings you to the world of the Wild West. That's where you're going to find Splash Mountain, Thunder Mountain, as well as some other attractions. Liberty Square is based on colonial America. So when Walt Disney World opened in 1971, the bicentennial was coming up in 5 years. So they created this colonial area to celebrate the fact that that was coming up. So in Liberty Square, you will find the Hall of Presidents, which actually changes every time we get a new president. You'll find the favorite Haunted Mansion, which I've definitely seen rated as the best Disney attraction on many different opinion sites, because it just brings in a little bit of everything, all of that Disney magic into one attraction. So I definitely recommend checking out Haunted Mansion. Then you have Fantasyland, where some of your favorite stories come to life. Fantasyland is broken up into 3 sections. You have the Castle Courtyard, which is basically what Fantasyland used to be, and then there was a big expansion in 2014 that added New Fantasyland, and New Fantasyland is also known as the Enchanted Forest. There are areas there themed to Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, and that's where you're going to find Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is probably the longest wait time in the Magic Kingdom. So you will want to get a fast pass for that, or get there first thing in the morning to avoid waiting in those long lines. Other attractions in Fantasyland are the classics like Peter Pan's Flight, It's a Small World, Mad Tea Party, and then you have Storybook Circus, which has Dumbo. So definitely some of the attractions that I'm sure you've heard of. There's also some character meet and greets in Fantasyland and some other attractions that I didn't necessarily talk about. But I will put a link to my attraction guide below, so that way you can see every attraction that's available in each land, as well as some information about it in terms of, is a fast pass available, is the queue covered or air conditioned, or are you out in the hot sun, because that kind of lets you know, do you want to wait in line for this or not, how long the wait times usually get to be, and a brief description of the attraction so you have an idea of whether or not you want to try it. That brings me to Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland is basically a retro futuristic. So when Disney first built Tomorrowland, they wanted to make it always what's new, and it was just too hard to keep up. So they refocused, redesigned, and made it a retro view. So basically what people thought the future was going to look like when the park was created in the 70s. So you have Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, which is a really, really fun attraction where you get to compete with each other. There's the Carousel of Progress, which not everyone's cup of tea, but one of my favorites. It's the original from 1964, World's Fair, and it was the pavilion that was sponsored by General Electric. So you have basically how technology has evolved over the years. You follow a family from the turn of the century through the 80s. So really, really fun and educational as well. Could be boring for some people, but I really love those classic attractions. One of the park's strengths here is the cross-generational appeal of its attractions. So Splash Mountain, you're gonna find 3 generations of people who enjoy it. Some of the attractions do have height requirements, so Splash Mountain does, but unlike a Six Flags, you are going to be able to have fun with kids who are a little bit younger. You can go on almost all of the attractions. So the ones with height requirements would be the roller coasters, really are the only ones. Splash Mountain, Thunder Mountain, Space Mountain, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. There is a height requirement for the Tomorrowland Speedway as well, but with the exception of those attractions, your kids can go on everything. I brought my daughter for her first birthday, and she loved going on all of the attractions, especially It's a Small World. She would go on that over and over. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is a great first coaster. Barnstormer is even better. Then you have favorites like Jungle Cruise, Pirates, and Haunted Mansion. They just appeal to a variety of people. And what I think is the big draw here, and that makes it different than any other park in the world, is its amazing entertainment, its parades and fireworks. For your first trip, I definitely recommend planning to watch the parade and the fireworks at least once. When we were kids, we used to skip the parades and fireworks to go on the attractions because my mom had read somewhere that that was the best time to not have to wait in line. So it wasn't until I was an adult that I experienced those things, and it just took my breath away, and I wish we had done it on some of our first trips. So if you have the time, I would say maybe try one day, skip the parade, skip the fireworks, get those attractions in, and then another day plan on experiencing some of those little things like the non-attractions. So you have the parades, again, the fireworks, you have entertainment like the Dapper Dance on Main Street, the trolley show. I definitely think you need at least a day and a half to really get the most out of Magic Kingdom. A day and a half, 2 days if you can get that into your schedule. So that's Magic Kingdom. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember to take a break from the busy, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you real soon.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.